Hey there, I wanted to do a quick little review and my thoughts on sort of video on the NYX Strobe of Genius Illuminating Palette. So this is a highlight palette from NYX, drugstore price, and it comes with 7 different highlighters. I was skeptical on this at first because a lot of highlighters can be not very pigmented, they can be chalky, they can be powdery, they can be too sparkly, and sometimes even patchy. So I was very skeptical, but knowing that NYX in general, their brand is really great, I did pick it up without reading any sort of reviews on it. And I have to say right off the bat, I'm gonna let you guys know I am seriously impressed. So as I said, there are 7 shades. There are 3 larger shades, which would be your standard go-to highlight colors. These 2 here especially, and then this one for darker skin women. And then you have your 4 different colors because you have like a straight up gold, we've got like a purple in there, so they all are very, very different. I had been worried that they'd be too similar, but they definitely all have a place in this palette. Let's talk about packaging for a second. I do really like it. It's simple, it's sleek. Even though it's all plastic, it doesn't feel cheap or anything like that in your hands. My only thing is, I like that you can see the highlight through it. I don't think it's necessary to necessarily have a mirror in it. Every palette comes with a mirror, so I'm okay that it doesn't. You can see what it is. I just wish that this flap opened up all the way. Like, I get it staying upright if there was a mirror there, that way you can lean it down and whatever, but it's really hard to, you know what I mean? NYX is supposedly like a professional makeup line, so you'd think they'd make it easy to like hold in your hand. But anyways, price point, it depends where you are. If you're in Canada, if you're in the States, where you're purchasing it, but it's around $20. So super reasonable for 7 different highlights. So I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna show you what I'm wearing on my cheeks now. So I will be using the small tapered brush from e.l.f. and I'll be going in with this highlight here, the lightest highlight shade, and I'll be concentrating that on my cheekbone, closer to my cheek, and then with this more pinky gold shade, I'll be taking it a little bit further up. So I just applied this shade right here, and then a little bit of this one towards the higher cheekbone area. So as for the formula of these, they can be a little bit powdery, a little bit. For the most part, they're really easy to work with. When I'm applying a highlight, I use one of 3 different brushes. All 3 of them are from e.l.f. So today I use the small tapered brush. I also really like the small stipple brush. And if you want a more natural, less opaque look, this brush here definitely gives a more natural look because it doesn't pick up as much product. I also do really like applying these with your fingers, especially like down the center of my nose and everything. They pick up a lot of product just on your fingertips. Goes on really nicely as well. One of the things I really like about this is that you can really customize your highlight shades. Pick up a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and you pop it on your cheekbones and you've got yourself a new highlight shade. So now for the most important part of the video, the swatches. We all know that's what everyone's here for. I will be first starting with this gold shade right here. So this is that first gold shade. This is one of the shades that has a little bit less pigmentation than the rest of the gang. It's definitely a pretty pink one. And for this purple, you need to be careful with what blush that you're wearing because it is quite pigmented. So yeah, it's super frosty and it definitely shows up with that iridescent purple periwinkle color on the skin. Got this one here, kind of like a bronzy pink. Now on the bottom, these ones seem to be more pigmented than the top ones. That's that right here. It catches in the light. So pretty. This would look so amazing on tan skin. Look at that. Look at that. Just look at it. Just look at it. And now for the one that I use the most, which is probably the most popular for, I would assume, everyone. That one right here. Ooh. I've got like, I swatched it over the other swatch, but you know what I mean. So pretty. This bottom one here, that one, reminds me a lot of the Kitten highlight from Stiple, which is discontinued. And you can see when it catches in the light, just the glow that it has on the cheeks as well. Definitely adds a lot of depth and oomph to your makeup look. So overall, I would say it would be worth it, even if you're someone who has a lot of high-end highlights. These highlights can be a lot more pigmented than some of the more expensive versions. And especially since drugstore highlights can be so hard to find, I'm really happy that NYX came out with this. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. Let me know if you've tried this palette before or what your favorite highlight is in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time.